What's up guys, my name is Wanderhoof, and I've been maining Melee Hunter in Season of Discovery. Although it hasn't gotten the hype Ranged Hunter has, it is a ton of fun and still does a lot of damage. My current parses have me at 25th in the world at the recording of this video. I know it's not the best, but I just wanted to show I do have knowledge of the class. Please enjoy this full guide for Phase 1 Melee Hunter, and let me know if you want me to break down anything else. If you're interested, please check out the Melee Hunter thread in the Classic Hunter Discord, and the new Discord I'm making to help Melee Hunters answer any questions they have. You can find all links in the description below. The topics I'll be covering today are pets, runes, specs, rotations, stat priorities, consumables, optimizations, group makeups, and macros. For pets, there are 3 pets that perform quite well right now, and they are the Wind Serpent, the Raptor, and the Cat. I am currently using the Wind Serpent because it does way more damage to Gamora than the other options, and has the highest burst potential on these shorter fights. Pet scaling has changed a bit since the Season of Discovery started, and we no longer use things like scorpions anymore, but these 3 pets are still very strong. It is important that your pet has the correct rank of every ability in order to maximize damage at level 25. That means Bite rank 4, Claw rank 4, or Lightning Breath rank 3. For runes, there are really only 3 runes worth running right now, so we do not really need to switch between fights or anything during this phase. These do not change no matter which spec you are running. In the chest slot, you will run Heart of the Lion. In the leg slot, you will run Flanking Strike. In the hand slot, you will run Beast Mastery. Even though Carve is definitely made for melee hunters, it does not do enough damage in these fights as they're basically all single target and can't take advantage of the cleave damage it gives. For specs, there are 2 specs right now that are both performing at around the same level. The first build is Beast Mastery. This is the spec that is best for BM in Raid, and it is performing slightly better overall than the second, but in my opinion is less fun. The second build is Full Survival. This spec is technically slightly weaker right now, but it is what I've been running and I'm able to keep up with or beat a lot of BM hunters. For the rotation, you want a Flanking Strike into Raptor Strike on the opener. After that, the main priority is Raptor Strike every time it is up. That is your main damage move. For Flanking Strike, I prefer to hold it for the next Raptor Strike, but other top melee hunters claim that sending Flanking Strike right away is the play if the fights are short enough, so use your own discretion. In between these periods though, you're going to be spamming your wing clip as long as you have mana, and it won't leave you with too little in order to Raptor Strike and Flanking Strike later in the fight. We spam these wing clips in between raptors in order to proc Wind Fury and any weapon procs that may happen from things like Fathom Blade, Deadly Strike of the Hydra, or Honed Darkwater Talwar. The melee hunter's stat priority is as follows. First, agility is our strongest. Our second is strength. Third is attack power. And fourth is intellect. Even though agility, strength, and attack power all give 1 attack power for melee, our pet scales the most from agility, then strength, then attack power. Intellect was included here because you do want enough mana to last you through a fight of using your normal rotation, including the wing clip spam. For consumes, we will want things like agility buffs and strength buffs. Both of these are offered as scrolls, potions, or if you are Horde side, you can use the Blood Shard turn-ins at Camp Tarajo. You can also get world buffs. That includes Black Fathom Boon and Dark Moon Fair, 10% damage. You can also get things like stam buffs for survivability. You can get the Elixir of Lesser Fortitude on top of the Fortitude buff. Since the Elixir gives flat health, they do stack. If you're going really try hard, you can include stuff like scrolling to be used on your pets to give it extra agility and extra strength. For normal raid consumes, meaning you'd use it on a per fight basis, there are only 2 things you'll need to bring to raid to be ready for this, and that is a FAP or a free action potion to use on Kelris during phase 2, or a mana potion on everything else. For raid optimizations, there are a couple things I just wanted to mention that can help you on a few different fights throughout the raid. The first one is dismissing and summoning your pet on Baron when you get to his platform. Sometimes it can glitch out and it won't teleport your pet up, and it can totally ruin that parse. Second, make sure you have a health stone going into Gamura. Anytime his shield is about to break and you are below half health, you hit the health stone, and so you can still use a mana potion, you don't have to use a healing potion, and so it's extra damage overall. Third, pulling your pet out of the frost on Lady Cerevis when she uses the frost arrow. Especially if you're using something like a wind serpent, it will stay in the frost and just cast lightning there if it's able to. So if you're using a macro to pull it out, you want to do that so it doesn't freeze. Next, on Gelahast, when he turns immune, you want to save your weapon swings. It's not worth damaging, especially if you have a very slow weapon. If you get put on a swing timer right before he becomes active again, you're missing out on a bunch of damage. And lastly, if your group is good enough on Lorgus Jet, you can avoid killing 2 of the 3 totems. The only one you need to switch to is the Lightning Shield totem. The other 2 you can just deal with by either moving the boss out of the meteor or just healing through the damage from the Wind Fury. For group makeups, there are only 3 classes you really want to be with in your actual party. This is not including like the raid-wide buffs, but in your party buffs. The most important one is a Feral Druid for Wild Strikes. Next is a Warrior for Battle Shout, and third is a Shaman for Strength of Earth Totem. Obviously that one is Horde only. Last but not least is macros. It's mainly used for pet management in Hunters to make sure your pet is standing near the boss, especially if you're using a Wind Serpent. If it starts to cast its Lightning Breath, it could stand outside of melee range, so it's not getting those autos in, and it's not getting the extra damage from Flanking Strike. So it's really important to make sure it's on the boss, and you also want to make sure it's not getting frozen inside like Cerevis's frozen arrows. So pet attack, macroed into abilities, or just have it on its own button, and then pet passive to bring your pet back, to reposition, and just make sure it is in range. The only other macro I use is a macro with Flanking Strike and Raptor Strike together. I use this after the opener, right before the melee swing's about to go off, so it Flanking Strikes right into the Raptor as the melee hits. All of the macros I use are going to be down in the description below. If there's anything I missed or something you want to be included in another video, please let me know, either down in the comments below or in my Discord that is linked in the description below. Thank you.